Hey, it's me, Riker. Today we're going to have a look at the brand new Voyage of Wonders Snowpeak Swordsman. So let's have a look at the rewards. From the epic rewards, we get 5,000 diamonds. Then from the common rewards, we get Poe coins, a variety choice chest, which includes gold, EXP, and dust. Then we get a couple of signature item upgrades, and finally, a bit of engraving materials for your heroes. So let's head in and see what this adventure is all about. So when we start this adventure, we will start in this corner of the map. Now, there will be three elements that we will have to interact with constantly throughout the entire duration of this Voyage of Wonders. The first thing being the teleport hub. Now, what this does, this can push or recall this disc over here. Now, this disc will fly across the map in the direction that the teleportation hub is facing. So as we can see, it'll fly over obstacles and blocks that are not there, and will hit the next block, which will stop the movement of this disc. Now, the next item that we have is the teleporter. Now, you always teleport to the disc's location, irrespective of where the disc is or which teleporter that you use. You will always teleport to that specific disc location. So let's begin this Voyage of Wonders. There we go. We will complete a short dialogue between Eironn and Alaro here. All right, now that you've finished that dialogue, recall the disc. Excellent, you've recalled it. Now push it across the screen. Perfect. Complete the dialogue and use the teleporter. Now this will teleport you directly to the disc, and let's fight our first couple of enemies. So defeat this enemy first. Perfect, you've defeated those enemies. Now defeat the enemy to the right of it. Now that you've defeated both enemies, now you have access to the teleporter and to two common rewards. So pick those up. Once you've picked up both of the rewards, use the lever once. Perfect. Now what this will do, this will block the movement of the disc and will stop in this corner when we push this disc from this location. So all that we have to do is push. Excellent, as stopped over there. Now we click on the teleporter, and now we are in the middle island over here. So the next thing that we have to do is defeat these enemies over here. Now that you have defeated those enemies, then click on the blue lever once again. All right, excellent. Now what we have to do is we have to move across this area of the map. Claim your next reward. So when you're in this position over here, do not click on the yellow lever. Make sure that this block is in its upright position so that when we path across this map, we will land in this area so that we can move our way into this top island over here. So defeat these enemies over here. Now that you've defeated those enemies over there, now what you can do is you can claim the next reward, defeat these enemies. All right, now that you've defeated those enemies, collect your reward and then head on over to the top section of the map. Claim this next reward over here. Defeat these enemies. Now that you've defeated those enemies over there, what we need to do is we need to lower this platform using the red lever. Now we cannot access this lever over here, but there's another one in the previous section of the map. Once you have lowered it, then we need to get the disc into this position so that we can shoot it across the screen and head on over to the next area. So the next thing that we have to do is we have to move this crate across. So move it to the right hand side, one block. As we can see, we've moved it to the right. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want to lower this pillar over here. So we click on the red lever once. Perfect, we have lowered it. Now we want to lower the blue box over here. So we find the blue lever. Perfect. Now we recall. If the disc is not here, then simply recall it and push it once again. There we go. We have pushed it to this area over here. Now what you can do is you can click on the red lever. Perfect. Now that you've clicked on the red lever, now we push the disc to this area. Perfect. Now it's in between the two pillars, the one that is upright and the one that has been lowered. Now what we have to do is we have to lower those pillars at the top there. Perfect. Now that we have lowered them, then we push it across the screen. Perfect. Now it has landed in this position. Now what we want to do is we want to head on over and step exactly on this disc, and we click on the red lever where we'll be moved upwards to this platform so that we can interact with the first epic reward and defeat these enemies over here. Click on the portal. This will immediately teleport us to the disc over here. Now all that we do is pull the lever. Perfect. Then defeat this enemy. The reason why is we need to move the disc across the screen. So complete the dialogue over here. Defeat the enemies. Now defeat the epic enemies over here. Now pick up the 2 rewards that are after the epic enemy. There we go. You got your first epic reward of 2,500 diamonds. We have to move the disc across the screen. So we click on push. Now we have to interact with a teleporting portal in order to be able to move across these islands, as there's no joining tiles to that island. So lower the lever. Perfect. Now exit this area because we have to lower the other red beacon. We have lowered it now. So as we can see, it's lowered. Now all we have to do is simply find a portal. We'll be teleported across the map. And now we're in the next section of the map. Now that you have landed in this area over here, firstly what that we want to do is defeat these enemies over here. So you do not need to defeat all the enemies in the map. However, if you want access to each and every single corner, then you will have to defeat these enemies in order to gain access to this bottom area and to this area over here. However, I'll take a shortcut in order to simply get all the rewards and complete the event as quickly as possible. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to shoot the disc across the screen to this section. So let's push. There we go. We have pushed the disc across the screen. Then what you want to do is you want to click on the green lever once. This will shift this teleportation hub up. Then you want to recall the disc. Now I'm going to take the shortcut, which all that you have to do is use the bottom teleportation hub and shoot it across, and it will land in this top position, allowing you access to all of these rewards. And all that you have to do is defeat these last 2 enemies in order to get the final epic reward from the Voyage of Wonders. So let's complete the other small little challenges. All right, now that you've defeated those enemies, claim their reward. Now click on the bottom teleportation hub and click on push. There we go. Now we have landed in that area. Now all that you have to do is click on the teleporter and claim the final rewards from the map. All right, now defeat these 2 enemies to get the epic reward. Now that you've defeated those enemies, defeat the chief enemies over here. All right, now that you've defeated the chief enemies, claim the final reward from the map. Complete the little dialogue between the 2 heroes. And you've finished this Voyage of Wonders. Now, there's a bit of extra dialogue that you can still encounter, but you have to defeat these 4 enemies where you can interact with this tent over here, which simply directs you to the same position over here to the final piece of the Voyage of Wonders.